ओम शांतात्मानं प्रकृतसुलभं सिद्धविद्याप्रभावं भास्वद्रूपं सुगुणनिलयं प्रकर्मादिवर्गं प्रज्ञावत्तोपदेशमुनिसमुत्तानदमुत्यादिवज्रं साक्षात् ईशं गुरुपदं शिवानन्दं ततोऽस्मि शिवानन्दं ततोऽस्मि अखण्डानन्दरूपो वन्दनास्य गायते गोविन्दं तमं वन्दे चिदानन्दं गुरुं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणे नमोस्तुते। Humble prostrations at the holy feet of Sri Sri Ma, and also her divine presence in everyone of the sadhaks here. So during this Samyam Saptah, we are all undergoing certain specific sadhanas, a disciplined life. So you are placed in certain specific routine, and 7 days you follow that. Afterwards you go back home, and then sometimes you will be following certain things, sometimes you will forget, some may not follow at all. So in ashram also we have the sadhana week. So they have a routine, 1 week sadhana week, they have some routine. And afterwards when they go back, they may do, they may not do, certain things they may do. And very often they come and ask, whenever they sit ashram, those who attend the sadhana week and those who are not attending also, other devotees, general devotees, what sadhana I should do. This question, answering the question, what sadhana I should do. Someone asks you what sadhana I should do. It is difficult to answer. Why? Because imagine that you are on a junction where two roads meet. And in the center point you go and stay there. And there is a constable, traffic constable. You ask him, which way I should go, which direction I should go. Then he will be puzzled. How can I say, where do you want to go first? What is your destination? If you want to go to Delhi, I suppose it is a junction, four roads are there, and you will say this road which goes to the south, it goes to Delhi, the north goes to Badrinath, which goes to the west to Chandigarh, and east goes to Puri Jagannath. So which is your destination, they will ask. So you want to do sadhana, what is your goal? Have you set up a goal? So sometimes we say we have a goal. What is your goal? I want moksha. I want liberation. I want Ishvara Darshana. All these set goals, you have no proper idea. Most of the people have no proper idea. What is that? What is that Ishvara Sakshatkara? Who is that Ishvara? What is that Atma Sakshatkara? We have no clarity of the goal actually. Without knowing the destination, without knowing what goal we have to reach, without knowing what is the sadhya vastu, how can you have a sadhana? So there should be a clear-cut idea, a concept, and a conviction of the goal we have. You have set for should be there. Otherwise, sadhana will not be clear. So the goal should be, you should be conscious of the goal actually. If the goal is not set, then sadhana is not possible. So, and it is very difficult to set the goal because we will not be able to have an intellectual concept of the goal. And sadhana is an activity, some activity. So what is the normal goal of ordinary person? We have a goal now. We are not aware of the goal. But we say, I want to have God realization. God realization is not your goal. You have got some other goal. Everyone has got some other goal. What is your goal? So first we should know what is the goal we have now. So all living beings have one goal already. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have a goal. That goal is, you want to be happy. You don't want suffering. You don't want dukkha. Sukham me bhuyat. That is the goal. No one wants to be unhappy. Dukkham ma bhut. I should not have dukkha. There should not be any problem in my life. I should be happy. That is the goal for even this boy will have. Children will have the same goal. The cow has got this goal, the dog, the monkey, and we also. Sukham me bhuyat is our goal. And all our activities are oriented towards that goal. That is our goal. And the ultimate goal is also same thing. Paramananda Prapti, they call it as. So Ananda Prapti is the goal now, we know. Paramananda Prapti, we do not know. And Dukkha Nivarti is our goal. Some Dukkha is there, we want to. Atyandika Dukkha Nivarti. So this Paramananda Prapti and Atyandika Dukkha Nivarti, that goal we do not know what is Paramananda Prapti. But we have a concept of this will make me happy. Rasagula will make me happy. And if I get more money, I will be happy. If I have a house, I will be happy. So, this type of, we have this goal. Our goal is, a normal person has the goal of Ananda Prapti. He wants Ananda, he wants happiness. He wants to be happy. And he doesn't want dukkha. So all our activities, we have the sadhana, all our activities, our earning money, our getting married, having a house, going to temple, all these things are motivated by this goal only. Sukha Prapti, Dukkha Nivarti. So that is the goal actually, which is the goal for everyone. So then Bhagavan says how to do that also. So the dukkha comes naturally, comes. We did not plan for dukkha. Nobody tried to get dukkha. It comes. Then we try to avoid it. Dukkha Nivarti, we are doing something. Or most of the activities are for dukkha Nivarti. And then some of the activities are Ananda Prapti. So whenever there is a dukkha comes, when some problem comes in your life, you don't want that problem. What you do? What a normal person will do? When problem comes, he will try to find out some remedy for that. He will try to come out of that problem. If the problem is very severe, it is beyond our control, what will we do? A boy wants to have very good marks. He will study and he is not very definite that I will have it. So while studying also, he will put his effort to achieve that, to remove that pain or to achieve that. And at the same time, he will also pray to Bhagavan. So whenever there is a dukkha, suppose if you have got a cancer, what will we do? We go to the doctor and all these things. And also, they will pray. And also you request, Swamiji, I got this problem, you will pray first. So, we resort to prayer actually. For dukkha nivritti, we resort to prayer. So, but when ananda comes, what will we do? We will be excited actually. So, when there is a problem in life, then we pray to God. Although we try our best to come out of that, we pray to God also. Bhagavan, please help me. This problem is there. Please help me. I will not be able to achieve it. You please help me. So that is why in the scriptures and also devotees, they pray, you please give me dukkha like that. There's a famous sloka by Kunti. Kunti says, Vipatas santu nashashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavatu darshanam yasyat apudat bhavadarshanam vipataha santu shashvat. Let there be problems in my life. Let there be continuous problems. Shashvat. There should be incessant problems should be there. Continuously there should be problems in life. One after the other should come. Then what will happen? Vipatas santu nashashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yasyat. So whenever there is a problem, I will pray to you. So if there are continuous problems in my life, I will be continuously praying to you. So you give me problems, they say. So our one goal, the goal for all people is to have happiness, dukkha nivritti and ananda prapti. So whenever dukkha comes, we pray to God. But when ananda comes, what will we do? We won't pray to God. We will be happy with that. So Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matras parishastu kaunteya sidoshta sukha dukkadaha agama payunu anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Whenever when the sense organs come in contact with objects, there will be pain or pleasure. Whenever there is a sense organ comes in contact with the object, there will be pain or pleasure. Sidoshna sukha dukkha, sukha and dukkha will be there. Pairs of opposites. An object may make you happy or can make you unhappy also. So tam titikshasva bharata is this. Sukha dukkha daha tam titikshasva bharata is this. When the sense organs come in contact with objects, then there is sometimes it makes you happy, sometimes it makes you unhappy. If you see a tiger in a zoo, it is inside a cage or some protected area, you are enjoying that. Suppose if you are walking the forest and tiger comes in front of you, what will happen? So the objects, when we come in contact with objects, then sense organs comes in contact with objects, it can cause pain or pleasure. It can make you happy or unhappy. But it may remain for some time, only it will go away. Agama and apaina, it will come and go. Bhagavan says, titikshasva bharata, he says, you endure, they say. So that is the upadesha given by Bhagavan. You endure that. Dukkha we endure. When there is a pain, we endure that. Undergo the pain. Suppose if there is a disease, we endure that. At the same time, we also pray to Bhagavan. Please help me like that. When pleasure comes, what we do? When pleasure comes, we won't remember Bhagavan. We will be enjoying that only. But the sadhana told is, this is your day-to-day experience. Everyone has to, don't think about big sadhana and other things. Bhagavan says, this is the sadhana, he says. So when pain comes, you remember me. You remember me during pleasure also. When happiness comes, then also you titiksha, you endure that, he says. You don't get excited. The pain you endure, why don't you endure that sukha also? Why don't you endure that sukha? And at that time, why don't you remember God? Nobody will do that. It is because of, I did like that, our ego will boost actually. Our ego will boost and then we will claim that it is because of my effort it has come. Dukkha has not come, it has somehow it has happened in maybe prarabdha, something we say. Sukha we don't attribute to prarabdha. I worked very hard. So and we are carried away by that and we never remember God also. So that is the sadhana you have to do. One, you have that pleasure in life, when happiness comes in life. Then, why not we remember God? Why not you remember God? So whenever there is sukha comes, then at that time you have to endure that you should not be carried away by the sukha. This is a gift of God, you should think like that. And then remember God also. You should not indulge in that pressure much. So that is actually Vairagya. If nothing is there, if no food is there, and I am fasting, means it is not vrata. When everything is there, I will not enjoy all these things. That is also titiksha. That is titiksha. When all things should be there, then only it is Vairagya. Then only it becomes Tyaga. Tyaga is something you should have. Then if you say no to that, it is Tyaga. Otherwise it is not Tyaga. So when joy comes, at that time, when happiness comes, when sukha comes, and then not carried away by that, and remembering God during that period is what is called titiksha. That we have to do. Then the next sloka Bhagavan says, Yambhi navatayante purusham purushashabha samadukka sukham dhiram yo amrutatvaya kalpate. Samadukka sukham dhiram saha amrutatvaya kalpate. When this pain or pleasure doesn't affect you, the pain affects you by making you unhappy, the happiness makes you excited. In both conditions, if you are poised, if you are normal, sukha and dukkha, the pairs of opposites. If it doesn't affect us, if you are poised in both the conditions, if there is no more excitement, then he is a dhira. He only achieved the goal, Bhagavan says. So there is no big sadhana. This is the sadhana. There will be continuous. Either you will be undergoing pain or you will be happy. Either there is dukkha or there is sukha, or there may be a period when the transition. Dukkha will end in sukha and sukha will end in dukkha only. There is no such a period dukkha and after a lull period and then sukha. That's not that way actually. You take for example a magnet. Suppose if a magnet is a scale like magnet is there, like this. So one is north pole and the other is south pole. Okay. Suppose if you cut it in the middle, in the center, this becomes the north pole and this becomes the south pole. So again you cut it here, 1/4. Then this is the north pole, this is the south pole. In this half, this is the north pole and this is the south pole. So the north pole and the south pole coexist. They are contiguous to each other. North pole is there and south pole is here. It's not that way. Every point behind the north pole is the south pole to that. Likewise, there is a continuity and sukha and dukkha is there. So when the sukha comes, so there is every day you are undergoing this. Somebody may irritate you, somebody may tell you something. Somebody may say, oh, you are a wonderful person. Oh, yes. Don't be carried away by that. These are small things. So why don't you do that? Bhagavan says that way. So whenever there is sukha comes, at that time don't be carried away by that, because the dukkha follows actually. Parinama dukkha they call it as. This Yoga Sutras they say, suppose if you are enjoying food, you are eating, oh it's very good. Then keep on eating, you are enjoying. Keep on eat, then what happens? Then your breath pattern changes. Then you become like this. And people used to lift the plate and eat like this, because you cannot eat like this. So whatever pleasure is enjoying, that will end in dukkha only. All the pleasures end in dukkha only. All the happiness will end in dukkha only. So whenever there is a sukha comes, then don't get excited. It is Bhagavan's gift, Bhagavan's kripa. So you have to endure that also. We endure pain because there is no other goal. But sukha we will not endure, we will get excited. Sukha also you endure. Let it, okay, Bhagavan has given this. So you are happy with me, okay? So endure that pleasure also, happiness also, sukha also. And be poised in all these conditions. So there is a work called Mukunda Mala by Kulasegara Perumal, Alvar. There he says to Bhagavan exactly this idea he gives. Bhagavan, you can keep me in happiness. You give me all pleasures in life. Or you give me all pain in life. Whether you give me pain or pleasure, or you are neutral, whatever it is, I am not going to be affected by that. Then he says, Diviva Bhuviva Mamastu Vaso Narakeva Narakantaka Prakamam Avadhirita Sharadara Vindacharano Marane Vichintayami. Diviva, you place me in the heavens. Bhuviva, you place me on the earth. Narakeva, whether you place me in the hell, heaven or earth. Diviva, Bhuviva, Mamattuvaso, Narakeva. Hey Narakantaka, wherever you like to place me, you place me. Whatever you gives me, it's okay. Avadhi, I will not be carried away by that. You give me in heaven, I will not be excited. Naraka, I may not cry much. Avadhirita Sharadara Vindacharano Marane Vichintayami. I will remember your lotus feet and I will not get worried about it. I will not worry about any of these things. I will never get excited nor cry. I will just remain poised. That is the sadhana actually. And at every moment you have to do this sadhana. Shanta. Mind is not agitated. It doesn't worry, it doesn't get excited. So keeping the mind poised in all situations. Life means there will be problems in life. Sometimes there will be something happy. Some situations you will be feeling happy about things. Things will go the way you like. Bhagavan provides you all happiness. Bhagavan also gives you dukkha also. In both cases, you remain poised. And that is not possible unless you have total faith in Him and a love for Him is there. And when you love God actually, naturally you keep remembering Him. You cannot remember God without love for Him. A mother will remember his child. Then nobody need not tell her, you remember your child, you need not tell her. Likewise, if you have love for God, you will remember Him. So you remember Him, that is the endurance. When there is sukha comes, you remember Him more. When dukkha comes in, that makes you to remember Him. When pain comes, that pain, in order to get out of it, you will remember Him. Naturally you will remember Him. Bhagavan has given you the experience. You can remember me. When pain comes, you remember me. Likewise, when pleasure comes, you remember me. So whenever there is happiness, then also we remember God. So in pain you remember Him, in pleasure you remember Him. That means what? You remember Him all through. So unnecessarily don't waste your time actually. Kalakshepo na kartavya Shinama Yamasya karuna nasti Kartavyam harikirtanam. So don't wait. Kalakshepaha na kartavya. Don't waste your time. Every minute you are moving towards the death. You are moving towards death. Kalakshepo na kartavya. Don't waste your time. Kshenamayuhu, kshane, kshane, every moment. Like a python is holding something, is prey. So slowly it will devour. Likewise, the time is, the moment we are born, the time started devouring us and we are moving towards 1 minute gone means 1 minute we are close to the death. Kshenamayuhu, kshane, kshane. Every second, every minute, our life has gone and we are moving towards death. Yama will not give you any concession. You cannot give him extension, give me like that. No possibility. So therefore, kartavyam harikirtanam. So, harikirtana has to be done. So in the Bhagavad there is a sloka, and especially in this Kali Yuga also. Kalir dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahan gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. So, Kalir dosha nidhe rajan, in this Kaligala, there is so much problems are there. Situations are not favorable. People used to say, Swamiji, my house is not very conducive for sadhana, I will come to ashram. Ashram is also like that. So when you come here, you will find ashram is also like that. So, wherever you go, there will be some disturbance. So, wherever you go, whatever you do, there will be problems also. So you keep remembering God actually. Kalyar dhosha nidhe rajan, so many problems are there. Asti eko mahan gunaha. One good thing is there, what is that? Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param prajet. By remembering God alone, you can achieve the highest. So remembrance of God is told in most of the scriptures actually. Continuous, constant remembrance of God. But that, because of that reason only people take mantra initiation, japa sadhana. So you have to pray to God to help you to remember Him. To do sadhana also you need blessings of God actually. So we have to pray to God actually. Bhagavan, you say that the sense organs, when it comes in contact with objects, there will be pleasure and pain, you endure that, you say. But when my sense organs comes in contact, the pleasure and pain will come, I will be either worried or I will be excited. So you help me that these sense organs, you keep it under your control and make me remember you. Make me remember you, they said. So you make a prayer to Bhagavan. Help me so that all my sense organs are connected to you. May I connect my sense organs with you. May all my sense organs be connected to you. You make a prayer. The sense organs should not go hither and thither. Whatever I see, let me behold you. Whatever I do, let me remember you. Like that you have to make a prayer. Then it is like that. Vani gunanu kathane shravanu kathayam hastau jagarmasu manastava padayor naham sprutyam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishti sadam darshanostu bhavattanunam. Hey Bhagavan, please help me. Then Bhagavan asked, what help you want me? You see that my speech, my Vani, always engaged in your Gunakathana. My Vani be engaged in glorifying you, to speak about your stories. Vani Gunanukathane, Mama Vani, Tava Gunanukathane. Let my Vani, let my speech be engaged in glorifying your stories. Shravanau kathayam. Let my ear be engaged in hearing your stories. Hastau karmasu. Let my hands be engaged in your puja and service to others. Manastava padayor naha. My mind be engaged in remembering your lotus feet. Shirastava nivasa jagat praname. My head be always bowing down to your lotus feet. Whatever I see, let me behold you and let me bow down to you. Drishti sadam darshanesu. Let me behold you wherever I see. So let my sense organs be engaged with you. Let me remember you. Let my eyes behold you. Let my hands be engaged in your puja. Let my feet be engaged in doing parikrama in your temples. Let my tongue speak about you. Like that, we have to make a prayer and consciously we should be involved in doing that actually. At least for some time in a day. So that is actually endurance actually. That is how we can remember God actually. When you look something, then you should be able to behold God there. The great Vaishnava Mahatmas, when they see the sky, they remember Bhagavan. The blue color makes them to remind them of Bhagavan. They see the ocean, they are reminded of Bhagavan. So whatever you see, that should help you to remember Him actually. You should be able to connect to Bhagavan in all the activities, in all thoughts and all deeds. Whatever you see. So great devotees are like that actually. When they speak about today's Ekadashi, so there was a great devotee called Ambarisha. Ambarisha Maharaj, when he says, Savai mana Krishna padara vindayoho. So he says, Savai mana Krishna padara vindayoho. His mind was always at the feet of Bhagavan. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. His words, whenever he spoke about Bhagavan. Whatever he ate only Bhagavan's tulsi. So that is what great people have done. It makes no difference whether it is Vaishnava Mahatmas or other Mahatmas. Invariably, they have connected their sense organs to Bhagavan. So whatever objects we behold through any sense, they connect it to Bhagavan actually. So Shankaracharya, in one of his works called this Shivananda Lagari, there he says, Manaste padabje nivasatu vajastotra phanidau karauja bhyarchayam shutilepi katha garnana vidau tavadhyane buddhihi nayana yulinam nayana yugalam murti vibhave. So he makes a prayer, Bhagavan, let my sense organs be engaged with you. Manaste padabje nivasatu. Let my mind settle at your lotus feet. Manaste padabje nivasatu vachasto trapanitu. Let my tongue speak about you all the time. Let it read your stotras, speak about your stotras. Let my tongue glorify your stories. Manaste padabje nivasatu vachasto trapanidu karauja vyarchayam. The hand be engaged in your puja. Earlier I told one sloka, that is from Bhagavad, this is from Shivananda Lagari. Karauja vyarchayam. Let my hand be engaged in your puja. Manaste padabje nivasatu vachasto trapanidu karauja abhyarchayam. Manaste padabje nivasatu vachasto trapanidu karauja abhyarchayam shutirepi katha garnana vidau. Let my ear be engaged in hearing your stories. Tavadhyane buddhihi. Let my mind and intellect be engaged in your meditation. Nayana yugalam murti vibhave. Let my eyes behold you. So like that we have to request, make a prayer to Bhagavan that all the sense organs be engaged in the worship of God in the respective areas. Each one has got only one function. In that function we will do Aradhana of Bhagavan actually. So that is actually the way to endure Sukha and Dukkha. We are not carried away by the Dukkha. Neither you are carried away by the Dukkha, nor you are excited by the Sukha. And throughout the waking time, mind will be engaged in the meditation of God actually. So the sadhana is actually to continuous remembrance of God. Whatever we do, the mind should be given to God actually. Whatever activity is going on is okay, but the mind should be engaged in remembering God actually. Then actually samadukha sukha is there. Then amritatvaya kalpade. Automatically we achieve that goal actually. So the sadhana is to be poised in both conditions, with pleasure and pain, and remembrance of God throughout. May Sri Sri Ma bless us all to achieve this. Hari Om Tat Sat.